moving to Vancouver for the lifestyle. You want to be able to climb a mountain, watch the sunrise. You want to be able to watch the sunrise on top of a mountain and make it to work by 9. You want to work from home on a mountain that has good reception. You want to be able to walk to coffee, restaurants, all the amenities, and you want close access to cold dips under the coolest waterfalls. You enjoy spending time in Whistler, yet you need to live close to the city. Maybe you work downtown, but you want bridgeless access to the mountains. If this sounds like you, stick around because I'm gonna dry myself off and warm myself up here and take you on a tour of a community that I think you are gonna fall in love with. And stick around to the very end because I'm gonna show you my favorite secret hikes that aren't very busy and the times of day to go to them, and where you can find this super cool access to cold plunge here under a waterfall. And if you're not into cold plunging, I think that might change when you move to Vancouver. But if you're not, you're gonna fall in love with this community regardless if you want to spend time in freezing cold water. Welcome to LoLo, also known as Lower Lonsdale. I'm excited today to show you my favorites about this North Vancouver neighborhood and take you on a tour and help you understand what you can get real estate wise. We're gonna look at a property that you can get under $500,000 here and then various increments all the way up to $3.2 million. Let's go take a tour. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about real estate in Vancouver and surrounding areas, subscribe below. Tap the bell for notifications to be the first to learn what's going on in the current market. Here in Vancouver, I'm Megan Becker, local realtor, eXp Realty. Myself and my team get calls every day from people looking to make this incredible city their home. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give me a call, text, or email, and I'm excited to help you make a smooth move to Canada's best city. Let's go tour LoLo. We are actually not in Vancouver today. We are in a different city called North Vancouver, which again is not the same as Vancouver. So North Vancouver on the map here is this segment here. And North Vancouver is actually split up into the city, which is outlined in purple, and then the district, which is this larger area that encompasses quite a bit of land. Obviously the lower part is residential, and then the upper part here is going to be Grouse Mountain, Mount From, Mount Seymour, etc. there. And today I'm going to take you on a tour of a very cool neighborhood, actually a little group of neighborhoods in the city of North Vancouver. So let's zoom in here, and we're going to start in this area down here. So this is called Lower Lonsdale, which basically is about this segment here. You've got this really cool area called the Shipyards, which I'm going to tour you through. We're going to venture over into Moody, Ville, up to Keith Road here, and then we're going to go up to Grand Boulevard. Okay, real estate here in Lower Lonsdale. At the time of this recording, which is December 2023, benchmark sale price for apartment-style condos is $819,000. Benchmark sale price for townhomes is $1.36 million. And then benchmark sale price for single families is $2.3 million here. So it's a really cool community. You're gonna find a mix of these newer, mostly high rises closer to the Shipyards, which is right on the waterfront. And then I'm walking up the hill north away from the water. You're gonna see a mix again of high rises and kind of 3-4 story older type walkout buildings here. And then you're gonna start to see single family homes kind of the further that you get away from the water here. Okay, we are gonna start our real estate tour at 263 West 2nd Street here. And I wanted to start here and showcase this property because we have a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 656 square feet that just sold last month for $490,000. So the reason why I wanted to showcase this is there are still properties in the Lower Mainland under that 500 mark. And the reason why that 500 mark is really notable is because here in British Columbia, we have to pay land transfer tax on properties, but you get an exemption for properties under that $500,000 mark. So if you can find something under that, you know, you're going to save quite a bit of money on your closing costs there. So this property sold for $490,000, one bed, one bath, a little bit of an older building built in 1974, but it was fully renovated, updated, and north-facing views, and we're 2 blocks to Lower Lonsdale. I'm on 2nd Street walking towards 1st. I'm just gonna cross through Hammersley Park here. And this is one of the things I love about just so many areas in the greater Vancouver area is that urban planning has really designed the city so well to put all these natural elements right in a community. So we're still in Lower Lonsdale here, and we're just walking towards the water. But especially if you just love being outdoors, I mean, that's one of the things that attracts so many people to this area is the outdoor lifestyle. So regardless of whether you have pets or not, there is really something therapeutic about being outdoors in nature. And especially if you got kids, what a cool area to live close to, and you've got a playground right here. All right, right behind me here is 333 East 1st Street, and a 2-bed plus den, 862 square foot condo just sold here for $850,000. And one of the things I love about this is it had about 110 square foot balcony. The unit faced south, so you got these incredible views of the water in downtown. If you haven't already figured it out by now, I'm a huge fan of views and outdoor space, natural light. Everyone's got their must-haves for a property. I'm curious for you guys, put it in the comments. What are your must-haves? Something, whether it's a feature of the property, a layout, location, whatever that is. For me, it'd be location and then views and some kind of natural element. I have to have some type of outdoor space. And I mean, there's just something for me about a rooftop patio, being able to overlook some incredible scenery. I don't really care about square footage or layout that much, but views and patio, yeah, that does it for me. I'm in front of 33 Chesterfield, and a 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,630 square foot condo on 2 floors actually just sold last month for $930,000. And check out your front door. This is your views. So this building was built in 1984, and the unit was fully original. So you're not paying for finishes. In this location, you are paying to walk out your front door. You're a block away from Lonsdale Quay Market. You are I'm standing on Spirit Trail, which is that 25-kilometer trail that runs all along the North Shore here. So if you're a runner, if you're a biker, if you just enjoy nature, and maybe you like doing a little bit of renos and updating, this might be something that could be really appealing for you. Okay, you should be able to see in the distance here the Seabus. So this is one of the coolest forms of transportation here on the North Shore. So it is a passenger ferry that is a 12-minute ride from Lonsdale Quay to Waterfront Station. So if you work downtown, this is a super easy commute, but you still want to, like I said, you want that lifestyle that allows you super easy access to the mountains, but hey, you live downtown, this could be a great option for you because you are a 12-minute Seabus ride to downtown there. And I've taken this. It's a cool ride, especially come sunset time and you see the sunset over the water. I mean, it's hard to get frustrated in a commute when these are your views. We are in the Shipyards right now, and we're coming up to Tality here. This is a very cool spot if you are into saunas, cold plunge. They actually started, this is a second location, and they actually started a location east of here. It was the back alley of a kombucha brew house, and they set up these cold tubs and wooden saunas. It was a really cool vibe, and they opened up a new location here. And I haven't checked this one out yet, but I've gone to the other one that's, I just think it's a cool vibe. It's in a back alley of this kombucha brewery, and it's got these very cool vibes. But we're just continuing to walk through the Shipyards here. All right, I'm at the corner of Esplanade and St. George's, and in front of this building, 172 Victory Ship Way, and a unit just sold last month for 1.17 million. We're at an incredible location here. So we're one block from the Spirit Trail, which is a 25-kilometer trail that goes all the way along, the North Shore here. And you can run, you can bike, you can walk. It's a really wide trail, so enough room. If you're walking, you're not going to get run over by a bike. But let's get back into 172 Victory Ship Way. So 2-bed, 2-bath, 922 square feet. Just sold last month for 1.17 million. It was fully updated, top of the line, everything. The one thing to be aware, and I actually had clients, we viewed this property, this condo right behind me there. I found a really great unit, but they didn't end up pursuing that because right behind me here, there's the shipyards are here, hence the name, and it gets quite noisy, and that was really the deciding factor for my clients, is that they didn't want to deal with the noise. So just something to be aware of here. I mean, I always tell people, like, Vancouver in general is pretty noisy. When I moved here, I sleep with earplugs in. It's just, I'm a big sleep nerd, so I like to do whatever I can just to make sure that I get a good sleep. So yeah, I have a good set of earplugs, eye mask, everything like that. But it is just something to be aware of. Some people don't know, especially with trains. If you are not viewing the property at the right time of day and you don't see the train, you definitely want to make sure that you investigate that. So one of the differences I've noticed in Vancouver real estate versus Edmonton real estate, which I used to sell real estate in Edmonton, is the value of a ground floor apartment or condo. So typically in Edmonton, they weren't really sought after. Maybe it was people with mobility issues that wanted like walk-in level, but I've noticed here in Vancouver, they're very desirable, especially for people with pets. You'll notice behind me, there are ground level apartments here. Oftentimes they're townhomes in the bottom of buildings. It can vary there, but you'll notice that this one specifically, it's an enclosed space. So if you have pets, this is a really nice thing to look for, just to be aware of here. Obviously in the upper levels there, you still got a decent sized balcony, but there's just something nice, especially with pets, about having that main ground floor access. So maybe if you're a local here, what do you prefer? Do you like ground floor units? Do you prefer to be higher up? And I guess it depends if you've got pets or not. I'm in front of 274 East 3rd Street here, and a 3-story townhome just sold here last month for 1.38 million. So you've got 1,650 square feet on 3 levels. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath. A little bit older of a building. It was built in 1981, partially renovated unit, but you have a balcony on the 2nd floor and then a rooftop patio with waterfront views, and we are 3 blocks to the waterfront here. So you're going to get absolutely incredible views of the water downtown. You're going to get part of the sunrise. You're going to get the sunset throughout probably most of the year here. Put it in the comments. Are views worth the money? What's your opinion? Okay, needed a quick snack. So stopped at Green Leaf Sushi here on West 1st Street, just off of Lonsdale Ave, and we're gonna enjoy quick salmon sushi here. All right, this is Fun Alley. Just a cool spot here in Lower Lonsdale. Perfect for some Instagram-worthy photos. Okay, this is a very cool area. I am in Moodyville. So not in Lower Lonsdale anymore, technically speaking, but I'm slightly east of it. And Moodyville is a really cool community if you want close access to, all of the amenities like a Lower Lonsdale, but you want something a little quieter. This is a really great area. I have clients that own a couple properties, investment properties here. There's some newer developments like this unit behind me here. And again, you're right on the Spirit Trail here. You get waterfront views, get a little bit more of a nature. It's a little bit quieter here. So I wanted to take you guys over here to show you a unit here. So I'm in front of 733 East 3rd Street, and there is currently a unit on the market right now, 2-bed, 2-bath, on the market for $998,000. This building was built in 2020, so brand new. You've got a park right out your doorstep, and it's a south-facing unit, so these are your views? All right, we are not in Lower Lonsdale anymore. I headed up a little bit further north up the hill because I wanted to show you some single family properties because, you know, not everyone wants to live in the heart of everything, and yeah, maybe you don't want to live in a condo. You want a full single family house. So I'm going to show you 4 properties up here. Just to get an idea, but we're starting here. We're not too far away. We're anywhere between probably like a 4 and a 7 minute drive from like central Lower Lonsdale, like the Shipyards area. And it's a pretty small area, so you've got really easy access to Shipyards if you want to go down there, spend some time there, or you've got super easy access to Highway 1 or wherever you need to commute to. And the nice thing about up here is we're up on a hill, so you get some pretty cool views behind me here. Okay, we're gonna start off here at 844 East 6th Street. And this property right behind me here, this one just sold last month for $1.6 million. It was built in 1916, so quite old. And really, this one went for lot value. It's likely gone to a developer or someone that's going to very substantially renovate it. But the lot, really large lot here in North Vancouver, 6,800 square feet. And check out behind me. You're gonna get some pretty incredible views, especially if you build up, you know, a story or two. You're gonna get some really great views there. All right, we're coming up to 1612 Grand Boulevard. This one was sold for $2.29 million. It was built in 1954, and high bed, 4 bath, and there's actually 2 suites here. So the upper unit, there's 4 bedrooms, and it was being rented for $42.50 a month. And then the lower unit, which was a really good sizable 1-bed suite, was being rented for $2,500 a month. And right in front, Grand Boulevard is a fairly main artery here. And you've got the green space in front, which is really nice. And behind me, you can see Mount Fromm and Grouse Mountain. We are a couple blocks north of Keith Road here on a super quiet street. I'm in front of 882 Whitechurch Street, and this one just sold last month for $2.64 million. 4-bed, 3-bath, really great family home. Built in 2013. You're close to parks. It's a really great area if you have kids. This is a super quiet street, and then easy access to everything else. I'm in front of 718 East Keith, and this property that was just built behind me, it just sold last month for $3.255 million. So this one's really cool. It has 6 bedrooms, 7 baths, a 2-bedroom legal suite on the lower level here. So, as you can probably hear behind me, Keith Road here is a fairly main road that is going to be quite loud at times of day. So just something to be aware of. I always encourage clients when you're looking at a property in an area that you've never been to is drive by at multiple times of the day. You know, what's your commute going to be like? What's the business? What's the noise levels at different times of day? I find especially if you're looking around a school, it's helpful just to understand what life is going to be like there, because typically we only view a property maybe one time, and if you see it at a really quiet part of the day, you don't truly get an idea of what the busyness and what the noise level is in the area. Okay, this is what you've been waiting for, the secret. They're not secret, but the reason why I wanted to share them with you is because they're some of my favorites, mostly because I like to maximize time. I think everybody, you know, you work schedules, have all these other things going on. So to be able to maximize time in nature, less commute, getting incredible views, or being in secluded nature is, for me, is really important. So these are what I wanted to share with you. And I'm going to share with you the time of day, why I like them, the times that it takes to complete them, and I'll show you where to find them on the All Trails app. So first one is White Lake here. So it is over in West Vancouver. And this is the name of the hike on All Trails here. It's via the old helipad route. So it's a really cool hike. The reason why I like this one is, one, because it's close. And I like to do this early in the morning. The last time I did this was a couple months ago in October, and we started at 6:30 a.m. So there's nobody on the roads at that time. So it made it nice and easy to get to. This one is about 5 kilometers. You can actually add on routes if you have a little bit more time here. So this route that is labeled here in green is 5 kilometers, but there's extra routes you can kind of see, like go up there, you can add on some distance, or there's other trails here that you can add on. And just depending on how much time you have, how long of a hike you want to go. But I like this one. It is a little steeper right at the beginning. We like going clockwise, so going up this way first. This is fairly steep here. First time I did this, I actually wore a 20-pound weighted vest. And I wasn't really sure about how that decision was going to go because, the first part of this, as you can see here, there's quite a bit of elevation right off the bat. But as you can see, it starts to fairly level out and then actually goes down slightly. But we like going clockwise there. And then the nice thing about this one is that you get this lake at the turn. Well, it's not really a turnaround point, but it's at the halfway mark, and we'll oftentimes jump in and go for a quick cold swim, depending on the time of year and depending on how cold we want, just dictates how long the hike will take. But the last time we did it, we hung out at the lake for maybe 10 minutes. A couple people went swimming, and this total round trip took us about an hour and 45 minutes here. And again, we weren't moving super fast. You could definitely trail run this, and then obviously would take a little bit less time there. But the really cool part about this is that all through here, for the most part, especially on the descent here, this is all covered in canopy of trees. And so if it is pouring rain, you're actually going to be protected by the trees, and it gives this very surreal, peaceful, almost like fairy tale vibes. You're in the middle of nature and it's really secluded. You can see that we're close to Highway 99, but there's only very few spots that you can actually hear the traffic, which is really quite nice there. Next is Pump Peak, which is on Mount Seymour, which is right up here. So this is a very cool hike. I've done this varying times of the year. The first time I did this, there was a group of 27 of us. We did a sunrise hike. We met at the very base of Mount Seymour. Actually, down in here, there is a Safeway, a coffee shop, amenities down there. We all met there and then carpooled up to the base of Mount Seymour, which is a really good way to do it, just in case people don't know where they are going. Sometimes parking can be a little crazy, but then we carpooled up the winding road here and then left the vehicle at the parking lot, which is right there. It's the base of Mount Seymour, the ski resort, and then ascended up. So as you can see, the distance, it was about 7 kilometers, and the route that we took, it took us about 2 hours and 15 minutes. And this was with a group of 27 people, so we were naturally a little bit slower, but we timed it so that we were up at the peak there about 20 minutes before sunrise, so we watched the entire thing. It was the most gorgeous, the coolest experience. We definitely needed headlamps because the whole ascent up there was in the dark. It was really cool. It made it really nice. We had people that had done this before in the dark, because it's definitely different versus doing something in the dark versus in the daytime. But that is a very cool one. Round trip took about 2 hours and 15 minutes. And then I've done this recently in the snow, and it's about similar. When I did it in the snow with people, it took very similar time. It's a little bit slower this time, obviously, because of the snow. We definitely had to wear spikes. It would not, they would not have been possible without like crampons or spikes like that on our shoes. Some of the spots get fairly slippery and they're steep, so there's definitely value to having the spikes there. Some of the people had poles. I personally didn't have poles, but some people really like them, especially for that. And just to be aware of with Mount Seymour is that the gate at the right before the ski resort, which is right around there, depending on the time of year, I know in the off season, so anything like right now we're in December months, it actually opens at 7 a.m. So we had to plan accordingly so that we weren't, sitting at the gate, because if you don't plan, you can park on this side of the gate, but then you are walking quite a bit up there, which is fine, but it's just nicer when you can park further and then all your hiking time is actually spent hiking in the trails versus walking up a road. So the next one that we access through the exact same parking lot at Mount Seymour there is called Dog Mountain. And the thing I like about this one is that it's fairly short. You're not getting too much elevation changes. It's about a 5-kilometer out and back, but you do get incredible views with this one. And so it is one of those, you get a huge reward for not too strenuous of a hike there. And it's one that if you have friends that aren't, super into hiking, or they just want something a little bit easier, or it's kind of a first time out, this is a fairly easy hike to get into. There is a lot of roots. That's the part that makes this one challenging, is you kind of have to keep your head down the majority of the way, because there's a lot of roots. It's not something where, you're going to be looking up at everything. You're likely going to kind of catch a toe and potentially trip there. So that'd be the only thing to be aware of there. And then in the wintertime, this is absolutely gorgeous as well, because the nice thing about the wintertime is that the routes are all covered with snow. So you get a nice flat snow path to walk on. But out here, you get these incredible views. I'll zoom out here and you can obviously get an idea of, you get the whole entire valley here, which is pretty gorgeous. So Dog Mountain is not one that I would necessarily love to trail run just because of the routes. So it's more of one if I want, a walk with the dog, or if I want a nice little recovery or throw on a weight vest and do something a little bit quicker. There was 7 of us all together the last time I went, and it took us about an hour and 25 minutes total round trip, and we probably spent about 15 minutes at the top just taking in the view, hanging out, brought some coffee and some snacks and had it up there. Next, we are heading back to North Van to Cypress Falls. So this one, it's a cool hike. You are covered in a canopy of trees the whole entire way. You've got a couple lookouts. You're basically running or hiking alongside the creek here, and you're gonna get all the waterfalls there. But the reason why I like this one is because there is a very cool area to access a cold plunge spot. So this is the parking lot, and you're gonna walk here directly towards the trees. This is where the trees start here, the trail starts, and there is a sign that says to the lower area here. It's right about there, and you're going to duck off the main trail and you're going to descend down here towards the water, and right around here you're going to look down, and it's pretty steep down, but if you come down a little bit further and go around and kind of tuck in there, this is a very cool area to do a cold plunge. It's super secluded. Every time I've been there, I've been by myself, or I've been with the people that I went there with, and you get this little kind of whirlpool action, and it's so peaceful. You're right by the falls, and you're kind of down in a little bit of a gully, and it's a really cool area there, and it's super close to the parking lot. So, obviously getting out of the freezing cold water, make sure you bring a towel and some warm clothes for that trek back up. But yeah, you're maybe a 5-minute walk back to the car there. And the last spot that I really love is Deep Cove, which is this little cove right there just off Burrard Inlet. And there is a hike that you can do, which is this Quarry Rock hike. So again, this is a super short one. It's really great for trail running, throw on a weight vest. I've done that a few times. And then you get the lookout right on Quarry Rock here to see all of Burrard Inlet. You get some really incredible views, especially if you go in the morning, you get the sunrise. But what I love about Deep Cove is actually paddleboarding. This is one of my favorite spots to go to in the morning. I will arrive here at about 7:30. And the nice thing about getting there super early is that you can find parking right along this main area here. If you go any later, it's gonna fill up and you're gonna have a challenge finding parking. But it's to go nice and early, get a close parking spot, blow up the paddleboard, and then I've paddled all the way out. I've paddled along the shore here, which is really cool. Lots of times you can find some seals. They like to hang out around that area, which is super fun. Sometimes they'll even come really close to my paddleboard. I've paddled out to Jug Island, which is this little spot right there, which is really cool. And I like this in the morning time because you get the sun is gonna come in this way, you get the sunrise. It is super, super calm in the morning. So I hope you found that of value. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know if you've tried any of these spots, if you like them just as much as I do, or if you have other good ones that you know that, okay, I only have an hour to get my, workout or hike in. This is the area that I like to go and maybe the time of day, because I think that is super helpful when you can maximize the time that you're out in nature. We all have jobs and all have to work, and so it's really cool when you can find things that if you've got a sliver of time or an hour here or there, you can put a really fun outdoor activity in. I hope you had as much fun touring at Lower Lonsdale as I did and just fell in love with what I fell in love with this city. If you're thinking about making a move, I would love to connect and tour you around the city here. All my info is in the description box below. And until next time, I'm gonna head into the market, grab some produce, and cook a very delicious dinner.